Good afternoon. One person waiting for an organ transplant is dying every day on average in the UK. There simply aren't enough donated organs to go around. At the moment, the current donor system means you have to opt in and give your permission if you want your heart, lungs, liver, for example, to be used after your death. But today the Chief Medical Officer in England has proposed a new system, an opt-out system, which would mean your organs would automatically be taken unless you specifically said you didn't want that to happen. Our medical correspondent Fergus Walsh reports.
A new kidney would mean an end to hours of dialysis every week for David Clark. But for almost 3 years now, he's been waiting for a transplant.
The only way you can lead a normal life is really by having a transplant, because that's the only way you're going to get away from this machine. And so this proposal is going to hopefully mean more people can do that.
1 in 4 people is on the organ donor register, but the Chief Medical Officer has now floated an idea to make people have to opt out of the system rather than opt in.
We have what amounts to a crisis in organ donation in this country for transplantation. The number of people being added to the transplant waiting list is growing. The number of operations carried out on them is falling because there just aren't enough organs available. So we need to change the system.
Transplantation has been one of the great medical success stories of recent decades. Last year, just over 3,000 transplants were carried out, but more than 7,000 other patients were left waiting. That's an increase of 30% in just 5 years. But the idea of presumed consent was comprehensively rejected by MPs 3 years ago, who argued that organ donation should remain a gift. Some patient groups agree.
I think it's a slippery slope, and I think it's very dangerous for patients who don't have a powerful infrastructure around them. And I think ultimately the real problem will be for doctors themselves, who will be finding themselves deciding between different patients as to who they treat and who they allow to be harvested for another patient.
Zoe Chambers received a new heart just last month. And it's less than a year since the law was changed to strengthen the legal status of the organ donor register. Transplant officials say it's too early to know how this new system is working. Fergus Walsh, BBC News.